Welcome back. Well, it's all about Tropical Storm Beryl. Over the next 36 hours or so thereafter, we'll resume your normal summer programming for Acadiana. But we are going to have some impacts from this storm. So let's get over to the weather wall. A lot to cover this evening with respect to Beryl and its potential impacts locally. But it's mainly going to be back toward Texas. But what we've seen already this afternoon, early this evening, tropical rain bands moving on through, gusty winds, torrential downpours. And there may be a few more of those through early Tuesday morning. By Tuesday afternoon, things should quiet down. So isolated tropical funnels, perhaps a tornado. We'll have to watch that. We had a tornado warning earlier for northern Evangeline Parish, but we don't think that manifested into anything. Didn't get any reports. Gusts near 40 to 45 mile per hour winds in the tropical rain bands that we're going to see. Outside of that, it's going to be a breezy day, 25, maybe 30 mile an hour gusts, but at least it's going to be a little bit cooler with cloud cover as well. Flooding potential, isolated wherever showers tend to train a little bit more, and that would be mainly toward Tuesday morning. In the rain shower activity, you'll catch a good half-inch or inch when you get a rain band move on through. We'll get to the radar in just a bit. And coastal tides, that's going to be the primary threat. I think they're going to be greater than 3 feet, especially across the Cameron coastline, and we'll lay that out for you as we move through the weathercast. You can see Beryl starting to get a little bit more organized. It's starting to seal itself off from that dry air, but it's a fairly large eye. But this thing may connect, and we might see the eye constricting as this heads toward the coast, which always means intensification. More on Beryl in just a bit, but you can see some of the outer rain bands moving through Louisiana, and a very hefty rain band moving on through late this afternoon, early this evening, producing rain and thunder and gusty winds. Strongest activity that we're seeing right now is in the Evangeline Parish area, showing some cloud-to-ground lightning, but we're not picking up on a whole lot in the way of any velocity data that would flag us for any funnel clouds, but still possible. The rains have come to a brief end in Lafayette, but it's pouring down cats and dogs and small farm animals from Iberia Parish all the way through central portions of St. Mary Parish. This activity, though, moving along, we just don't want it to sit in one area, and we don't think that's going to happen. As for any advisories for Louisiana, just confined down to the coast. A coastal flood warning for Cameron Parish, where tides, I think, are going to be, Weather Service goes up to 3 feet. I think they're going to be closer to 3 to 5. And a coastal flood advisory for Vermilion, Iberia, and St. Mary parishes for Weather Service going for 1.5 feet above normal. I think it's going to be at least closer to 2 to 3. And higher water levels will be possible if further intensification of Beryl occurs. So here we see the tropical storm. It's been fighting that dry air, but now it's moving into the hottest water it's going to see prior to landfall, and the shear is decreasing. So we may see this storm intensifying as it approaches the coastline, and that's forecast by the National Hurricane Center. Up to 85 mile per hour winds prior to landfall as we head into early tomorrow morning. It looks like about 4, 5, 6 o'clock in the morning. Then tropical storm conditions through the Houston area. And again, yellow is the radius of tropical storm force winds. Sustained tropical storm force winds, 39 or better. Area of red here, sustained winds of 74 miles per hour or better. And that's why we have hurricane warnings for a good part of middle Texas coast. Tropical storm warnings inland to the south and just offshore southwestern Cameron Parish out into the Gulf of Mexico. Obviously, storm surge warnings for the Texas coastline. We're looking at 4 to 7 feet in the highest points, up to 3 to 5 feet along the upper Texas coast. That's why I think if it's 3 to 5 feet here, it's going to be 3 to 5 feet along the Cameron coastline. And again, we have that coastal flood warning, so we'll be watching the water levels. As for inundations, you can see anything in yellow to orange is going to be in the 3 to 5 foot range here. We'll move this map over toward Houston just to show you these white areas are levied off areas, so they don't model those. And then you're going to have some water up toward the Baytown area and north of Boulevard, and then all the way up through the Texas coastline. And I wish they would run the model past Texas, but the Hurricane Center is not giving us that data. So we'll go with our data. The graph model has been ACES forecasting this system and is locked in with a landfall right around 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning, and it gets more intense. And you can see this continues to spin and through the Houston area, but at least it'll be moving. It's not going to be a Harvey situation with rainfall, and that what we will be looking out for are those tropical rain bands that could move through during anytime during the day tomorrow into early Tuesday morning for sure. And in between, we're going to have some intervals of sunshine. I think the greatest risk of flooding may develop toward Tuesday morning if we have any. And then after that, Tuesday afternoon, high and dry. Rainfall, expect 5 to 10 inches where the hurricane or tropical storm makes landfall and moves to the north. Locally, we're going to see a couple of inches of rain, local higher amounts possible. As for winds along the Texas coastline, you see those wind gusts approaching 70, 80, 90 mile per hour winds. These are gusts, not sustained winds. So it's going to be rough across southeast Texas overnight tonight. And then we'll see those strong winds. And again, the ground mile sometimes goes a little bit too high, but this is what folks need to prepare for. And when we show you this over Louisiana, you'll have a pretty good idea as we'll probably have some storms threatening us later this year. And then locally for us, again, you can see tropical storm force winds over towards Houston, maybe up to 70 mile per hour gusts, and locally across Acadiana, we could see gusts in the 30 to 35 mile per hour range. But notice Holly Beach, Cameron, Creo, gusts to 40 to 45 or 50, quite possible. Then things will quiet down thereafter. So overnight tonight, evening storms early, then muggy conditions for sure. Upper 70s to near 80 for your low. Rain chance high early this evening, but dropping to about 30% later on tonight. Then tomorrow we'll boost it back up to 60% with mostly cloudy skies. Few intervals of sun possible. Scattered PM showers and storms. Funnel cloud or two possible, and we'll be on the lookout for maybe an isolated tornado as well. Gusty in those tropical rain bands. So kind of rough weather over the next couple of days for Acadiana. Then your normal summertime forecast resumes with highs getting back well into the mid-90s and overnight lows staying in the steamy 70, 80 degree range. That's it for weather for now. We'll have an update coming up a little bit later on.